What is up, crypto fam, and welcome back to 10 Minutes with Taha, the only show where we're going to unpack trillion-dollar crypto market news while I sip on my coffee. In today's episode, we're going to talk about how Trump wants to put crypto into your retirement plan, how El Salvador is building a Bitcoin bank, and how somebody just threw $149 million into a Bitcoin long like it's blackjack. Buckle up because the charts are pumping and the FOMO's kicking in. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's start off with the most boomer-friendly crypto news. And this just might be one of the biggest news articles of the year. So President Trump just signed an executive order, and I quote, "You know what? Let's throw Bitcoin into your 401k. Yup, so crypto is now officially part of your retirement plan." Because nothing quite says, "Let's secure our future," like dog coins, altcoins, and a wallet you forgot your seed phrase to. So let's talk a little bit about this order because it's the biggest news yet. So the order basically tells the US Labor Department to reanalyze rules on alternative investments like crypto, private equity, real estate, and retirement accounts. Imagine explaining to your grandma that part of her pension is now staked into a meme coin named Butt. Even the SEC and the Treasury Secretary are stepping in to make this happen. It's kind of like asking your strictest teacher to help DJ your graduation party. And yeah, they're bringing glow sticks. So this could unlock over $12 trillion in assets to flow into accounts. Yeah, that's trillion with a T, like Tether or Taha. So the year is now 2050. You retire at 65, and your crypto 401k is worth about $8 million. But the kicker here is you can't access it, because you saved it on a USB drive and labeled it do not touch, but your little nephew used it for Fortnite. So in all seriousness, let's talk about why this matters, and it's not just another headline. So this over $12 million of retirement capital, that's the size of all the 401ks out there and similar plan funds. It's just a fraction of this flows into crypto. It could dwarf all previous institutional inflows combined. I mean, it's just absolutely massive for the industry. More so. So we're kind of going from a shaky asset to a legitimate investing. Crypto has spent years being questioned, and now it's being invited into the most conservative financial vehicle there is, retirement accounts. That's a huge warp of mind. So on one hand, this opens the doors into regulated, long-term crypto investing. But on the other hand, this could expose underinformed retail investors to extreme volatility at scale. Just imagine your grandma checking her 401k balance and yelling, "Who the hell is Pepe and why is this down 90%? Regardless, the market liked this, and Bitcoin did see a little pop up from about that 115 to over 117, and ETH is just sitting there hovering right around that 4K, knocking on the door of the elite club. And from this news, now get this, someone just opened a long on Bitcoin with $149 million. This person saw Trump put Bitcoin on the retirement plan, basically like walked into the casino, lit up his cigar and yelled, "Put it all on orange." Except in this case, orange is Bitcoin. And there's a good chance this guy might actually win. The point is, yes, you might be able to retire off Bitcoin and show your kids college tuition on Dogecoin returns. Now let's see who's stepping up next, and it's El Salvador. So apparently El Salvador is building the first Bitcoin bank. You remember them, right? The first country that made Bitcoin a legal tender before your mom figured out what an NFT was. And now they're launching a government-backed Bitcoin bank. This is not some shady Telegram rug pull. This is a real functioning Salvadorian bank backed on Bitcoin. Yeah, they're going full on Switzerland, but crypto style, just with more volcanoes and less fondue and chocolate. So while other countries are yelling, "Hey, crypto, this is black magic," El Salvador's out here putting their eyes on the balance sheet. And somewhere, just somewhere, Janet Yellen just heard a disturbance in the fiat. Next up, let's talk XRP to all your XRP fans out there. So yes, it's still alive, still controversial, but now it might be really profitable. So the news here says that Ripple applied for a banking license, And there's some analysts that are now whispering that we might be hitting some $7 price targets. So they just spent $200 million buying a rail. They're restructuring, and as long as XRP stays above this $3 level, some believe that the next leg up is real. But Ripple going TradFi now, huh? That's kind of like your ex-banned punk cousin showing up to court and saying now he's a compliance officer named Chad. No, but regardless, if this banking license goes through, it could glow up like an arc, and all these XRP maxis have been praying for this and hoping for this since 2017. So really bullish news for XRP out there. So to recap, Trump wants Bitcoin and crypto in your 401k. Massive, massive news. El Salvador building a Bitcoin bank. People longing Bitcoin with multi-million dollars like it's nothing. And good XRP news out there. I want to hear your Bitcoin price predictions, especially with this new news we just got. Drop it in the comments below. I want to see what you think. That's it for this episode's 10 Minute with Taha. Smash that like button like it's a meme coin pre-launch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It means so much to me. And remember, none of this is financial advice, unless it works. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you guys tomorrow. Cheers.